Hey y'all, it's Molly with Mini Acres, and here's the deal. It's raining. That's the deal. So, what day is it? Today is July 2nd, and I've got a long weekend, and I've got a lot of plans for doing some cleanup, and I want y'all to hold me accountable. It's like I'm making this video just so that I'll do it, because otherwise I might not actually finish it. And the birds are on the move. They are on their way. Actually, you know what? Let's go over there and look. So here's my plan for this weekend. Even though, of course, now it's going to rain off and on all weekend, but maybe in between storms I'll be able to get something done. Look at that cloud. You see that? It's coming. It's coming. It just left. One storm left and another one's coming, and we are on our way. And they're having a little snack. I literally just threw the bucket of scraps at them. Just here, have at it. This little area, this is where they're going to next. So before the weather got bad today, two of my kids were out helping me, and oh well, hello. What were you doing in there? They were helping me. One was on the lawnmower and one was on using the weed eater to try and get as much done as we could, and all of this grass was raked up so that I can use it for mulch. I don't know if you remember my little quick tour that you might have already seen, where this was all just grass and weeds and just awful. Just getting in here with the weed eater helped so much. So let's discuss my plans. What are my plans? This is a wild jasmine. It's got yellow flowers, and it grows in the woods around here, but this just happened to be growing in a spot in the yard that I was able to just yank it up and put it in a pot. And I'm going to put it somewhere where it can trellis. And my lavender that my son's girlfriend gave me. And then I've got pepper plants. Hey bud. Pepper plants and things that need to be transplanted out. I need to clip the runners because I tucked runners in as I was putting the plants in this little tower, and they've rooted very well, and everybody's putting on more flowers. So I need to clip them so each little plant can just focus on making me hopefully some more strawberries. I might clean this area out. There's only a couple of strawberry plants in this row that have survived. So I kind of feel like maybe if I just pull them up and put them in pots and then just rip everything out from here. I actually already got seeds from the lettuce that was way down there that I just didn't get to show you guys. But rip all this stuff out, cardboard and mulch maybe, and then just let this spot sit for now. The wayward tomatoes, here's my plan. You heard it here first, folks. I'm going to start working on this end of the garden instead of saving them for last, which I always do, and then I don't have the energy or the daylight or whatever to actually finish. I'm going to try to save these plants. Most of them look healthier than any of my other tomato plants right now, and I don't think the stink bugs have found them yet. So what I'm going to try, I'm going to do a hard prune on everybody and stake each plant up, because this Florida weave is for the birds. So if I can do that and see how many of these plants I can save, that's where I'm going to start for this space right now. That's the first plan that I have for my, whatever this is that I'm doing. This is like my, what is this even? My Midsummer Meltdown. Yeah, we'll call it that. Because I want to rip everything out and start over, because between the bugs and the humidity and the tomato plants are dying, and what else is dying? Beans are dying. I want to pull everybody out and start over. See, I need to do a little weeding over here, a lot of weeding over here. Same with this row. I'm going to hard prune or rip out whatever tomatoes I can either salvage or that just need to go. Over here, I mean, these beans, I'm thinking maybe if I just prune the leaves. Ooh, hit my head. The tops of these plants look fairly healthy. I haven't been able to harvest all those beans because I didn't want to disturb this little family. I didn't want her to bite me. So she gets to keep those beans. This is my main tomato row where I've planted tomatoes right here and on the cattle panel, and it's always my most like successful spot, and it's not really that great this year. And I know it's because of the weather, 2 months of no rain, and also then now we've had tons of rain and bugs, and it's hot, and it's just time for them to die. I already pruned back a lot and the plants were doing better, but I see some that even though I pruned them, they are dying anyway. So we'll see who we can save, and I need to maybe feed and baby, possibly stake up these pepper plants because they're starting to do really well, but they're also covered in weeds. And did I already say I'm going to use the grass clippings hopefully for mulch? And that was lightning. I don't know if you saw that. We better hurry. And let's see, same over here. I just need to do a ton of weeding. Look at this zucchini. It's trying so hard. Maybe I'll make it. Did you hear the thunder? Did you count? You know, you're supposed to count how many seconds it is from the lightning to the thunder, and that tells you how many miles away or something like that, which probably means I need to get in the house. Okay. Whatever these are doing well. That's a Tigger melon, I think, or maybe that's the Tigger melon. I don't know what these guys are, but except for today, these have been doing really well. And look, my little Kajari melon's putting on some blooms. He's trying. Possibly, if it's not wet in the morning or sometime tomorrow, then my son's going to come out here and finish weed eating just this little section here so I can have some more grass to use for mulch, but also just to complete cleaning up this spot. And look at that, like there's a clear path over there to the blueberries and the zinnias. It looks really good. Same thing here. I got flowers that are jamming. I got hot peppers that are jamming. But I got tomato plants that need to go. So I need to fix my little shade area. I need to figure out what's staying and what's going and who needs to be staked up and tended to, right? And then over here, oh, I have these beans that like the plants look terrible, but they keep producing. So I'm really tempted to rip out these beans. Look at this. This is pigweed. It looks like amaranth. Look at this gorgeous baby love. So pretty. Focus. That is rain. I hear rain coming. Okay. Final thing. So I'm going to rip out, I'm going to really hard prune my cherries that are still like potentially able to pull through the summer heat and keep giving me more, and see if I have any space to tuck in any more tomatoes here. And then I'm also wanting to like put in some more squash. Let's finish this thought on our way inside. Anyway, squash, beans, more tomatoes. Maybe some of my flowers are going to go over there. That's the plan for this weekend. So today is Friday, so Saturday, not Sunday, but maybe Monday, depending on the weather. This is the plan, and that's what you'll see in the next clip if everything works out. If I can at the very least, like between rain showers, if it's not thundering or miserable or whatever, to get out here and get some work done. And I just want to be like accountable that I'm going to get this work done, especially before things get crazy with planting flowers, and all of that stuff has to really be like my focus. You want to go inside, Abby? Okay, it's Saturday, July 3rd, and how I look, so good. Let me tell you, I smell even better. Delicious. So, this could be the after, but I think I'm going to call it the middle. But if you don't see anything after this, then you know that was the after. So, we're still expecting rain today, but so far I've gotten several hours of work in. So I've just kept going because, you know, you got to do what you can, even though it's really hot. But I'm staying hydrated. I flip this camera and go inside. You coming, Goose? Okay. I just remembered I want to put a piece of cardboard down right here and put my strawberries and some of my potted plants right back here. So maybe that'll be in an upcoming video or clip. Let's look around here. Y'all are gonna look at this. Okay, so I was just watching a video. It was Danny over at Happy Farms. Check her channel out. She's got a really good channel. And she was like, when you prune your tomatoes, just prune off like a little bit. You know, a little bit at a time, because you don't want to stress out your plants. That's not how Danny talks. That's me making fun. I totally didn't follow that advice. I just absolutely butchered these plants. However, what I've discovered is there's still some healthy plants in here. So let's take a peek. First of all, look at that Tulsi basil that was hiding under there like va-va-voom. And let's see if we can go along here. Oh, look, there's a stink bug. I'm going to kill you. We've got some stuff going on in here. So some of these things might recover. There's a lot of open space now. There's a party going on over at the chicken pen. There's a lot of space here now that I might fill in with more tomatoes. I took lots of suckers off of all the plants that were healthy enough to take suckers from. So I could have a ton of fall tomatoes if this works out. Let's look down here. I don't know if you can really tell. I didn't do as much. This side had already been pruned pretty heavily. So this hasn't gotten a lot of attention. Yeah, I haven't done anything over here just yet. So let's go over here. I cut these trees a wee bit, and I'm using the branches for stakes for my pepper plants. Let's see. I chopped back my asparagus a good little bit, and the ripe berries, I went ahead and took those inside to get the seeds out. And yeah, there's a few plants in here that they might pull through. You know, I'm giving them a chance to pull through. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I left 4 plants in this bed. And all of that, like, I still need to pull some weeds and mulch it. And let's go over here. You're going to absolutely die. Do you remember what my cherry tomato row looked like? I went absolutely wild. I cut back everything. So this is the Berries Crazy Cherry. I just cut it back to one little healthy looking piece that can do whatever it wants to do. And then I ripped out some of the other cherries that were just mediocre. These two are blueberries. I didn't get very much fruit off of these yet this year, and one reason I think is because it's just been all mixed in together in the mess. Same thing with, look at all those sweet pea currant tomatoes. Just tons of tomatoes. I couldn't get to them for the mess. But I kept a few vines and cut off the sickly looking leaves, and we'll just see if this recovers. I see a stink bug. I hate your guts, man. This is a mystery tomato, and it looks fairly healthy, so I'm just leaving this one in its spot. I yanked out the one that had been labeled yellow pear, but I'm pretty sure it was a sun gold, so I took a bunch of clippings from it, and then I kept my sun gold and just pruned it heavily with just a few vines coming out. And then I left my Tommy Toes. I probably need to prune him some more, but he looks okay right now, and not a lot of, I don't know, I guess I got tired when I got over here. But then you can also see there's still a lot to be done on the other side. Oh, it's hot. Same thing with this row. Okay, we'll start at this end. So I've got ground cherries at both ends, and I haven't yanked them out yet, and here's why. Because I don't like the ground cherries. None of us are crazy about them, so I'm going to yank them out. I know, I'm sorry if you love ground cherries. You just, I'm sorry. But as I was pulling things out, I was like, what would Marie Kondo say? So I've been Marie Kondoing my garden. So every time I come to a plant, if it doesn't spark joy, I yank it out. And I feel like I should trademark that or something. I don't know. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I will yank this out when I have something to put in its place. But we go along here. I've been staking up my peppers. Oh man, I went inside to get my phone and I forgot to get a bucket for my harvest. I've got more of the Buena Mulata, and then those are cayennes that I just plucked. Look at my Tabasco. It's starting to make some peppers. And I staked them up with branches. And then it goes through here. I was pulling weeds like crazy and staking up my peppers. Whoa. Like Hello Daisy and Cosmos. And then I have a bunch of, these are supposed to be golden pepperoncinis. I'm sure I should have left them on the plant longer, or could have left them on the plant longer, but it was really heavy and I wanted to be able to stake it up. So I figured it'll give me more peppers if I just went ahead and, took the weight off of the plant and staked it up, and, we'll see how it goes. And there's a bunch of cayennes on here that are getting ripe, and there's more Chinese 5 colors that I could harvest. Let's go over here. And here is more tomato carnage that I was being careful. Like, this one has some potential, so I'm giving them an opportunity. But I pulled out so many weeds. So, oh wow, I didn't realize I only left 2 tomato plants over here. But this has been the spot where the tomatoes have been sick. You have got to be kidding me. Get out of the bed. Get out. Get. I did not say sit down. You're lucky. You're so cute. Come here. So, anyway, this bed was like the unhealthiest from the beginning. This soil has just been giving me fits. So, alright. This is as far, hang on. This is as far as we're going to get with this project for now. So, today's Monday, July 5th, and it rained all morning. I don't even know how much rain we've had since the very first time I tried to start this little video montage. But my guess is like 5 or 6 inches at this point. Which is great. That's fine. It's fine. But I had to basically wait until it wasn't lightning anymore, and then I've just been out here pulling weeds in the rain. And so I'm going to show you what I got done. I did not get the weeds pulled over here in the strawberry area or asparagus area. And I didn't get any like mulch or anything. I didn't get mulch or anything put down in the wayward tomato home. But, I mean, you can see I really went to town cleaning those buddies up. I did not weed right here. I did a lot of pulling weeds here, and I planted some of my tiny little pepper plants in empty spots where I ripped out bean plants and I put down grass for mulch. I really need to harvest these flowers on this toothache plant, but I keep forgetting to look up a video on the best way to do it. So I don't know if you remember, I pulled up bean plants and I also cut the borage way back because she was being a drama queen. I have not weeded over here, and we've got some melons. These are ones that I said I don't remember what they are. And that one little Kajari's over there doing its best. See that borage? She's such a drama queen. Like little Fred. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think just 5 tomato plants on this row that are trying to pull through. I don't even care. Like they don't have blooms, but if they can just pull through, if the plants can just not die, maybe they'll give me some more tomatoes when it cools off. I noticed, look at that. My comfrey is blooming. I had a weird dream that I weeded this whole bed and that I accidentally pulled out the comfrey and threw it away. Isn't that a funny dream? Oh no, is that more rain? Okay. I pulled out bean plants. They didn't spark joy. They were only giving me, you know, a few beans here and there, and the plants were getting sickly, and so I just pulled it all out. I pulled out weeds, I pulled out beans, and I might have already shown you that I have 1, 2, 3, I've only got like 4 or 5 cherry tomato plants still in this bed. So this whole space is going to be something else. I picked a bunch of flowers. I showed on Instagram where I was just basically taking, you know, all the flowers that I picked just to help clean up the plants to make just some fun little bouquets. And back there I took a ton of flowers, even if they were, I mean, very few of them did I just throw on the ground. I just don't have the heart not to at least let them be in a vase for a little while. These cosmos are so pretty. I'm not really sure how many days they last in a vase, but they're so fluffy. They're just little fluffy little, I could put that in, I just want to eat it. Let's get down here. So still, oh, well, I missed a spot. I see some bindweed that I missed. So I still need to come in and pull that out. So, but I'm opening up space to put new stuff in. And I know I want to plant more beans. Look, I pulled up the ground cherry. Don't hate me. I'm going to scoop up all those ground cherries and see if I can still use them. But they've been sitting in the dirt and there's ants and stuff. So I don't even know if any of them are salvageable for anything. The honeybees are jamming over there. I can't really get out here at night or in the late evening. I have learned when I was hunting like tomato hornworms and stuff. The temperature does drop a little at night, but I can't explain it. Like even if it hasn't rained that day, the humidity, it's like a wet blanket, and it's like trying to breathe through water, and my glasses fog up and I'm covered in sweat and it's just miserable. So I figured out that I have to do the best I can to get out here early in the morning and then just work as long as I can into the late morning before it gets too hot and miserable, depending on if it's cloudy or sunny that day, for like how much I can get done. So what I'm hoping to do is either in a little bit or this afternoon, like late afternoon, I am going to start planting my first flowers out in my flower beds, my like official flower beds. So stay tuned if you want to see that. Oh, my glasses are fogging up. That's great. Florida. I hear it thundering. There is a break in the rain, and so I wanted to come out here one more time and show y'all like the after, because I feel like I missed some stuff yesterday. Today's July 6th, but yesterday it rained. It was thundering and lightning, but then there was a break and it was just sprinkling most of the day, and I got out here in the rain while there was no lightning and just kept weeding and working on stuff. But I feel like maybe I missed some things, so I'm gonna see if I have a chance to walk around a little bit and show y'all more of the progress. But I also wanted to ask your advice where I've ripped out some stuff. What do you think I should put back in its place? So this is where there's going to be a future raised bed. I guess I'm going to have to just cut into it and just see what it looks like on the inside, how I'm going to be able to manage to turn that into a bed. Do I need to rip the fabric off of it? I don't know, but why wouldn't I use those box springs? It's a wooden frame. It's made for planting, right? Okay. So you can see here I ripped out some bean plants. They were giving me beans still, but it was just like, I mean, a handful of beans off of like 10 plants. I just was like, I'm done. I'm done with you. This cucumber has started giving me more cucumbers, so he gets to stay. This gorgeous Queen Lime Zinnia, she is the love of my life. Let's see. That one's floppy, so we're not gonna get any flowers off of her today. But the more you cut, the more they give. That's just the beauty of it. And then my berries, Crazy Cherry, I'm giving him a shot. I cut him so far back. I'm hoping because I cut these cherries so far back that maybe the stink bugs will be like, okay, there's not enough food here, we're gonna move on. Because I'm seeing way less of them. There were so many of them when they had all the nooks and crannies to hide in. I think the humidity here, these plants are just like, they can't breathe. I can't breathe out here, they can't breathe out here. Can you see how they sting the tomatoes and like suck the juice out? Little jerks. I hear rain coming. Okay, over here, I ripped out that ground cherry and I'm gonna get up the fruits and see what's salvageable. Probably nothing is because there's ants all in it. I think the ants were enjoying them a lot. So maybe I'll just feed those to the chickens. But you can see there's some open space down here. And then turning this way, there's some open space here. I might actually get, I think this is a cocazelle. Yeah, it says cocazelle. I might actually start getting some fruit, but I'm still going to go ahead and restart all of those seeds. So some things that I want to start either indoors or direct sow are more squash and more beans. So there's a lot of open space potential here, but I also have my hot peppers all along here. And then I have some flowers and things that are jamming. My Malabar spinach, both of those are jamming. Look at them climbing up. This birdhouse gourd, I don't know if you can see, it has gone to the other arch and it's like, it's trying to leave. Like I feel like it's trying to reach that tree over there. And so many flowers. Here's some open space where I pulled out beans. So I don't know if this is where I want to plant more beans or where I want to put my squash. And then where in like a month or so am I going to put my suckers from all of my tomatoes for hopefully a fall harvest. And also more cucumbers. These rattlesnake pole beans. So like the bottom is kind of unhealthy. Also, I'm going to rip that out. The bottoms look unhealthy, but then when you get up high, they are stunning. Look at all of those flowers and beans that I need to harvest. The same with this. I'm not sure which kind of bean this is. I'm not sticking my hand down in there, but it's taken off finally. At the same time, these cucumbers, it's like they kind of stalled out, but now they're picking up again. Isn't that interesting? And then this cucumber, I'm not sure if I've gotten a healthy looking cucumber off of it yet. I might just rip it out. There's some beans next to it. So maybe, yeah, I see you over there. Maybe I can rip this one out and that'll be a spot where I can go ahead and know that that's what I want to plant here is more cucumbers. We'll see. I don't remember if I showed you this row. This row is kind of wide open too. There's only 4 tomatoes that are still in this spot. And there's zucchini, that's Black Beauty zucchini, that are finally looking healthy. But then all of those weeds, like I need to pull those weeds and replace them with something. So I'm not sure. These melons are gonna take off. One little Kajari melon, we're hoping for the best. Over here is where I managed to put my grass clippings to use for mulch. And I still need to stake up these peppers. These are my not hot peppers. But I ate a habanada and it was hot. And basically now I don't trust any peppers. So maybe this borage will come back. I'm starting some white borage seeds that I got from my seed swap. These tomatoes seem to still just be getting sicker and sicker, so I might wind up ripping them out. I'm really just hoping they'll hang on and not get sick before the weather gets cooler, which is a couple months away before it really gets cool enough for them to be happy again and make more tomatoes. And this cucumber, I'm not sure if, I think it's given me like 1 or 2 more cucumbers this week, but I feel like it's about spent. And these beans are fantastic, but I'm not harvesting the beans that are next to my little red wasp family. I'm not scared of the wasps, but I'm certainly not going to jiggle them by trying to reach my hand right next to them and get beans, so they get to keep those. But they actually don't seem to mind when I'm harvesting like that one. I can pull that bean, they don't care. My broom corn, oh well, this one fell over again. I'm really not sure. I think I'm gonna let it all go to seed and then just find a random place that I can just plant a bunch of them for next year and have it all for flower arrangements. I don't know what this is that's growing here. Some squash. We'll see. We'll find out together. And also there's more like weeds in here, but there's also some flowers and an artichoke and holy basil. So I might just leave this alone for now and just let that stuff keep filling in. That wild tomato that popped up, I say wild, it's not really wild. What is it? It's a, what's it called? Volunteer. The volunteer tomato that popped up among these gladiolas, I don't know what it is, but I'm leaving it, and it looks really healthy compared to the other ones. It's kind of insane. Hot mess over here. Everybody seems okay. There's ants in my lavender, that's fun. I need to harvest some of that Swiss chard down there. This grass is trying to take over, but that hidden ginger, and then that's regular ginger coming up, and then over there my turmeric's coming up. These ever-bearing strawberries are putting on more bloom, so I'm hoping that they'll stay happy and give me a few more strawberries, because I've only gotten like a couple. Beans I've been ignoring, and mint I've been ignoring, and cucamelons that are finally doing what I want them to do, and geese and chickens. These folks, their fence, once it's dry enough that I can weed eat a perimeter for the fence, they're gonna get in here, and this is where they're gonna stay. This is where they're gonna stay for a while and just go to town on these weeds. And there's poison ivy in there, poison oak, poison sumac. We have all three, the trifecta. They're gonna go to town and all of that and prep this area so that I can start making my perennial cottage garden space. I've given up. I'm not even gonna try to weed eat. I mean, to pull the weeds from this asparagus patch. Strawberries still haven't messed with, where there's like 2 healthy plants in there somewhere. My wayward tomatoes, I think that they look better. Like, they don't seem like they really minded my seriously major pruning. And there's a holy basil here. There's some Shasta daisies. There's some other basils down there that, they seem happy. Like, they were getting kind of smothered and choked when the plants were all just laying on top of each other. It was a hot mess trying to untangle and prune everybody. That's one reason I was like just going ahead and doing some major heavy pruning, and found out, yes, I was wearing gloves because they make my hands itch. The tomato plants make my hands itch, but turns out they also broke my arms out in whelps. So I should have worn long sleeves too. Pro tip. Okay, let's go over here. Peaches. I just don't think these peaches are going to turn. They are hard as rocks. And I'm not wearing shoes. That was really smart. The blueberries are done for the year. I promised myself that this year in the fall, I'm going to take the baby plants that are sprouting up and I'm going to transplant them and give everybody more space, and maybe just extend this to be like a blueberry row that goes to the fence. We'll see. And then this space back here, that's another thing that I want some advice with. I have a nice, at least 4 foot wide strip that goes all the way to that, close to that pole. This is where I'm feeling like I'm gonna want to do just more like maybe experiments, planting seeds for my cut flower garden, just experiments back here. This is a nice, somewhat sunny spot. But also I need it to be something that I can forget about. Potentially, this might be one of my more naturalized areas where things are either perennials or they reseed, and I can pretty much ignore them and just come and cut either filler or blooms, you know, as needed, but I don't have to maintain anything. And that's a thing that exists. I've seen videos that exist. All right, let's go over here behind the peach trees, except I have to look out for pokey weeds, because I'm not wearing shoes. So in here, I have some dead avocados. This area got sort of forgotten and very neglected for a while. Like during the 2 months where it was very dry and I was watering the garden every day, I usually forgot to water this spot. But I see some mulberries that look okay. There are some avocados that look okay. I see lemons on my little lemon tree, and my fig tree is growing. It's 3 times the size it was when I put it in that pot, but I don't see any baby figs on it. This is sort of just a little temporary station for these things to live in their pots until I'm ready to plant them in the ground. So I guess my question for you, I'm trying to walk back. I think I covered everything. I think I touched on everything. But I guess what I'm curious is, what would you plant in the empty spaces? Would you do beans? Would you do beans or squash in certain places? And if you were going to do beans or squash, which place would be better that you would put that there, because it's only going to need a couple of months and then you can rip it out and then I can put more tomatoes in there. But so let's just say I'll have at least 10 healthy plants to plant out in a month or so. So let me know what you would do if this was your garden space, or maybe what you're already doing. If you're in a similar climate to me, I'm in 8AB, Northwest Florida, where it is humid and miserable. And it's going to be like this through possibly the end of September. More likely. It might get cooler at night, but it's still going to be really hot and miserable during the day, at least till the end of September. So if you're in a similar climate, like, how do you do this? How do you succession plant beans and squash and things, and then plant a fall tomato planting? That's the thing that's, it's very elusive. Like right now, succession planting is what's very elusive for me. Rusty, say see you later, guys. Bye, friends. Woo, honeybee. Honeybee on my shirt. Honeybee on my shirt. Hot dog. Hot dog. I'm not scared.